Hello and welcome to the CellarHand News Roundup for the month of August 2021. I'm sorry this is coming to you at a time when so many of us are locked down at home, unable to do the things that we love, unable just to get out and work, lacking freedom. I hope that you are hopeful. I hope we'll all be open soon. I hope you're keeping strong and safe and well, and that really everything is back to normal and we can all look forward to very bright times ahead. But in the meantime, there's plenty going on in the wine world, and hopefully that will give a bit of heart and inspiration to you. A couple of huge domestic calendar releases for us. The first of those being Ben Glaetzer. His label has turned 25 in the year 2021, Ben, and his 2019 flagships have just landed from the Ebenezer sub-district of the Northern Barossa Valley. That's the Anaperenna Shiraz Cabernet and the Amon-Ra Shiraz, both from those incredible old vines up there. Immense power and concentration married with great finesse and elegance, as always, from Ben. They're really lovely, succulent wines that are showing great charm at the moment, and they will go on for a very long time. So that's the Anaperenna and the Amon-Ra from Ben Glaetzer's label from 2019. Now, Ben Glaetzer, back in the day as a winemaking student, used to work his butt off with a very good friend of his, Rob Mann. Rob now has got himself about as far away from Ben as he possibly could by being over in Margaret River and Swan Valley, where Rob actually hails from originally, with his Carimbia label that he runs with wife Jen. Now, their 2020 Cabernet Sauvignon from their Calgardup vineyard by Redgate Beach in Margaret River has just been released. That's the third release of that wine. It's, in a very short period of time, really marked itself out to be a very distinctive rendition of Margaret River Cabernet. There's no new oak there. It's a really exceptional, pure, transparent, salty maritime wine with lovely ripeness. 2020, pretty warm year, so it's got lovely, generous flesh to it as well, but a very, very precious rendition, I would say, of Margaret River Cabernet. It's got a growing fan base, been a real hit in its first few years, and I think that's certainly set to continue with this lovely 2020 they've just released. The Chenin Blanc has also moved on to 2020, and that's been a cult hit as well in its short time around. It's once again an absolute banger of a wine from 2020, and the 2020 red blend, the Tempranillo Malbec from Swan Valley as well, that'll be coming out soon. But both those other two wines from 2020, Chenin Blanc and that excellent Cabernet Sauvignon, available right now. Heading to slightly cooler climes over to Tasmania, because Steve and Monique Lubiana of Stefano Lubiana have just released their single plot Pinot Noirs. That's the Ruscello and the La Rocha plot from 2018. Very distinctive couple of wines as well. These from the biodynamic certified vineyard on the Derwent River in Tasmania. These are the wines that have been selected from the best plots on that vineyard. And really do bring out the wonderful character. Fantastic Pinot going on down there. And these really are, again, marking themselves out as new flagship wines of Tasmania. That's the Ruscello and La Rocha from Stefano Lubiana from 2018. Now, they're biodynamic friends over in Marlborough, Tefarida, TWR, Anna and Jason Flowerday. They've got a host of 2020 wines out now. We've kind of been rolling over time, but we've got the Sauvignon Blanc now, we've got the Gewürztraminer, we've got the Pinot Gris, and we've got that famous Toru blend. That's the Gewürztraminer Riesling Pinot Gris blend, all on 2020 from TWR. Lovely vintage there, described as a Goldilocks vintage by Anna and Jace. Not too hot, not too cold, right on the money, and they're lovely juicy wines with texture, a lot of freshness to them, and as always from that fantastic viticulture down there, just great detail as well. Doing great things at TWR. I cannot recommend those certified organic wines highly enough. And one more domestic story here this month is 2021. Okay, they're here already, and this is just released this week. The Garden Red from Airlie Bank, from Tim Shand and the team at Punt Road. So this is an equal parts blend of Grenache, Cabernet Franc and Gamay. Highly original blend for the Yarra Valley. They're hardly the three grape varieties that spring to mind when I mention the Yarra Valley to you. This brings those together really nicely in an equal parts blend. It's super fresh, absolutely bursting with red berries, lovely bit of spice to it, really fresh. And actually super long for a wine that is only $24 on your retail shelf. This is rolled to 21 at the same time as the Airlie Bank Pinot Noir, just out now. The Airlie Bank Pinot Gris on skins. and also Sauvignon Blanc from that. So 4 2021 wines from these guys, and of course that exceptional Yarra Cuvée sparkling wine that they do, all at the same price, $24, an absolute killer price for excellent wines from Tim and the team there in the Yarra Valley. Now, other news from Europe. We've got Burgenland very much in the spotlight from a recent shipment that we've had from there. Gerhard Pittnauer, first cab off the rank. Again, another biodynamic certified estate over there in Gols in the Burgenland. This shipment from Pittnauer's got a bit of everything in it, really. There's a bit of Zweigelt and Blaufränkisch in a fairly traditional line. The excellent Pitti blend from 2018 with us. The brand new Pittnauer Rosé, Blaufränkisch Zweigelt based Rosé from Gerhard, always a very, very popular wine. As well as a few of those more off the beaten track wines as well. We've got the Pét Nat, Méthode Ancestrale sparkling wine. We've also got a Grüner and St. Laurent blend called R&B, and a lovely rendition, a new cuvée this of St. Laurent called Vomdorf, and I highly, highly recommend that as a superb illustration of why these guys in Burgenland, a couple of them, Pittnauer being one of them, his friend Hannes Schuster another, who really, really value that St. Laurent grape. It has such wonderful character, very Pinot Noir-like, very fickle, herbal, kind of gentle in a way, but at the same time with a massive inner strength. And I reckon that silky Pittnauer wine from the latest shipment is something that you would love to try if you have an interest in these Austrian reds. Somewhere else you have to go, of course, is over to Roland Velich from Moric to try Blaufränkisch, because he's generally regarded as being the world champion with this wonderful variety. We've got Roland's 2018 Blaufränkisch, we've got his 2017 Reserve Blaufränkisch, superb wine that. And we've also got a couple of whites from Roland. The lesser known is his excellent Grüner, which has a very cool name, the serious wine from a gorgeous place, and also the slightly more reasonably priced Hausmarke Weiss, which is a blend of Chardonnay, bit of Riesling, bit of Welsh Riesling in there with mostly Grüner as well. So very, very good set of wines there. And also from Roland, we've got his Hidden Treasures wines, a couple of wines from Hungary, where he works with not really up and coming, they're very well established Hungarian winemakers, but maybe not household names for you yet. A wine from Zomlo, another wine from Balaton, both based on ferment, but white blends from Hungary under that Moritz Hidden Treasures label from 2019. Lovely vintage there. Do check those out as well. And Roland's a very good friend. I suppose Roland's almost a mentor to Hannes Schuster, but recent Wine Advocate article tells you that this guy, Hannes Schuster of Rossi Schuster in Burgenland, has well and truly emerged from the shadows of all his admired colleagues over there in Burgenland to emerge as one of the great leading lights of this area with his Blaufränkisch wines. St. Laurent as well, doing very well for Hannes. He also makes Rotberger Zweigelt wines, and lovely white wine called Aus den Dörfern from gemischte Satz, so mixed plantings with Grüner. But certainly Hannes is a massive talent, very, very modest soul, doing great things there in Burgenland. So those three, Gerhard Pittnauer, Roland Velich of Moritz, and Hannes Schuster of Rossi Schuster, all from the Burgenland. Lots of new wines to try, lots to read about. Do go and have a look at those if you're interested at all in Blaufränkisch, in St. Laurent, in those indigenous varieties of Austria. Definitely they are a must see. Now over to France for a little bit. We've got from the Loire Valley, our very good friends at the domain of Frédéric Mabillot. Now very, very sadly, of course, it's almost a year since Frédéric Mabillot passed away. He died in a light aircraft accident on the eve of Harvest 2020 over there. Absolute tragic loss for the area. He's a hugely popular guy, a real mover and shaker, modest as well, but just full of energy, full of life, full of love for that place where they are in Saint-Nicolas de Bourgueil in the Loire Valley. But his son Rémi and Rémi's brother Charlie, their mother Nathalie, they put on a great show in 2020 to get those wines out with other winemaker friends and mentors in the region. And we've just had a lovely shipment from those guys at Frédéric Mabillot. We've got the New vintage of the very popular Gruyère Chenin Blanc and Gruyère Cabernet Franc. Those are the main cuvées that we take from them. There's also a new Cab Mac Cabernet Franc from them called Fred, quite fittingly, in homage to their father, as well as a Pét Nat, or Pét Nat, with a TH after Nathalie Nolo. The gag doesn't really work in English. And also a new rosé called José Rosé, looks very cool. Racine, a higher bottling of Cabernet Franc, and a Cabernet Sauvignon from the Loire. All very reasonably priced, excellent wines from this certified organic biodynamic estate at Frédéric Mabillot. They really do look the goods, super fresh, very exciting set of wines from a lovely, lovely family there. Also certified organic is the André Bonhomme estate over in Viry-Clessé in the Mâconnais, and we've just got only a couple of wines from this time, but luckily, hopefully, plenty to go round because they're a very, very popular set of bottlings. That's the Macon Village wine. It retails at $43 a bottle. A great, what was it called in Gary Walsh's review from the Wine Front this week? I think he called it a delightful glass of pure Chardonnay flavour. That's the Macon Village Vieille Vigne wine. Vine's around 50 years age, raised only in stainless steel, but it's got that flinty kind of Chablis character with a slightly riper fruit spectrum from the Chardonnay growing further south there in Burgundy, on limestone soils again, so really, really super stuff. And then the Viry-Clessé Vieille Vigne, slightly higher bottling for the domain, also out now as well. That's from 2019, the Macon Village from 2020. From the UK, very briefly, we've got a new disgorgement of Hattingley Valley's sparkling wine, their classic reserve cuvée. Very, very important wine for the estates, basically the estate's non-vintage calling card. Emma Rice and the team continue to be at the forefront of what is a very exciting English wine scene, and only getting more exciting by the day. So it's great to have some more wines from Hattingley Valley down here. If you haven't checked out English sparkling, if you're remotely skeptical still, please go and have a look at the wines of Hattingley Valley. You will be hearing a lot more about these, trust me. And last but not least, we head to Italy for the Vajra family. We've just had their 2017 Barolo Albe. That's the wine named after the named after the sunsets, 3 separate sunsets that occur over the 3 vineyards in Barolo where they harvest those Nebbiolo grapes for that bottling. It's known to be one of the most accessible, reliable renditions of Barolo you can possibly get your hands on, although sometimes you can't get your hands on it because it's so popular. Anyway, we have that 2017 Barolo Albe at the moment. If you hurry, you will get some, so don't miss out on that. And at the same time, we've got lots of other lovely wines from them. We've got the new Claret JC Nebbiolo bottling. That's the slightly spritzy, super fresh, chillable, lower tannin Nebbiolo that they make with a bit of whole bunch. A very fruity, different, approachable young rendition of Nebbiolo. We've got the 2019 Lange Nebbiolo in absolute top form, Dolcetto d'Alba. We've got the Coste Fossati Dolcetto, that slightly higher bottling of Dolcetto as well, because remember the Vajra family really do rate that grape variety, as do I. Also, just rolled onto a new vintage of their Barbera d'Alba, and various other things that you can have a look at from the lovely Vajra family in Piemonte. We miss them too. We miss all these European friends. We miss you too, and I'm sorry as well say that this news is coming to you while we're all pretty much in lockdown. As I say, I really hope brighter times will be with us all soon. But in the meantime, if there's anything else you'd like to know about the wines, you'll find them all on our website. That's www.cellarhand.store. Just get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Obviously, there is never a time when we don't want to hear from you, but especially right now where we're all a little bit isolated, it's always nice to know what you're up to and to hear of your interest in any of these wines and producers. In the meantime, take care. Speak soon.